I look very snazzy right now. What do I have to say, guys? Guys, I know it's been a long week. It is a Thursday, fabulous Thursday at that. And good thing I have my element for you guys that I kind of did over this, what is it? I would say this weekend was very jam-packed for me. Not saying that I was around a lot of people and I was partying. I wasn't doing none of that. But for some odd reason, it came from me being in a drive-by birthday party to actually talking to my brother to next going to the Huizinga Park situation. Like, there's been a lot of stuff going on for my weekend, and I should have had this up by Tuesday, but in actuality, I'm having it up right now. And to cue everything will be Mr. Vinny. And Vinny will be queuing up my whole conversation that I had with my brother, a UPS delivery driver, on this whole situation with COVID. And no, he's not actually coming on. It's pre-recorded. But it's a whole, It's a whole interview that I did with my brother on the whole COVID situation and how he, as a UPS driver, is going through and, going with his day-to-day and how his day-to-day has changed. So, Vinny, once you have that video queued up, he's not listening to me, guys. You see, Slick doesn't speak, and Slick speaks, guys. But Vinny, once you have that video queued up, can you cue it up for everybody to see? And everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome back. Okay. Thank you. I forgot this was your show.
It's kind of sort of my show. Let me get off behind you.
I forgot. No, it's okay. No, I forgot this was his show. But reporting live, everybody. This is Slick here with Slick Speaks with an element for today that's gonna open the perspective, because I only been talking to majority of my producers, and majority of my producers are around my age, either out of college or still in college. And today I have with me, I have to bring him in correctly because he is my brother, my first brother. He honestly taught me how to ride a bike, then pushed me off of it, guys. So I have to I have to introduce him as Mr. Faniel Exum. So how you doing, Mr. Faniel?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm just hanging in there. I just for anybody that doesn't know, Fan, I don't wanna go back and forth on it, but Fan does work at a packaging agency. No, it's not Amazon, okay? So that takes off one. But he does work at a packaging agency, and being that we are in phase 1 of this COVID pandemic, how has it been for you getting through this whole situation?
Well, I mean, I can say that it hasn't been different from what I'm used to. To put that in perspective, it's more of whenever peak season comes around for me, it kind of sort of feel the same way too, and it just happened a little bit earlier. Peak season happens for me around November, but it kind of sort of feel like it's peak right now.
But from me following the news, guys, and Fan, I do follow the news a lot. Not saying that I read mostly all the stories, but it's mostly a skim through. But being that we're in phase 1, I didn't even know that we peaked, because in Florida it's showing me a lot of green signs, like from Jacksonville, because Jacksonville started this whole wave of reopening, if you can't recall, because everything really started, I would say, northern Florida panhandle. So people are feeling more, are feeling more like they want to go outside, just like how I seen in your community. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. That's a brush of error. I thought he was talking about the peak of COVID.
No,
what do you
I'm just
mean by
talking about
work?
basically work becomes even more than what he's used to. Around this time, it's normal. It's average.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Around this time last year, it was average. But since it's been COVID, so more people are staying home, more people are ordering more packages.
Oh, more people are ordering more packages. So you're getting, I would say, stuff from eBay and stuff from basically
Everywhere.
all the masks. So have you guys been getting a lot of masks in? Or because things that are rare in this whole society right now are masks, sanitizer, wipes. I'm surprised you guys have wipes, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I can't even find wipes for it in my area. Wipes and basically all cleaning materials from toiletries. Like,
Well,
have
most
you guys been pushing that out more?
no, most people are actually ordering stuff. They're not ordering
Stuff
as in
gluttonous stuff,
as
like
in
materialistic.
as in furniture, as in stuff that they like had they in their wish list or something like that, like workout gear or clothes. A lot of clothes. It's just the money is not being spent on masks. I mean, you have to be able to understand too. Why would you spend it on only masks? I mean, you have other things. You want to live your life as normal as possible. So what you do is you order stuff. People order food. People order a lot of different stuff. But where they're not medical offices, why would they want to order a lot of masks and hand sanitizer?
Well, why the stuff that they don't? No, but we are in America. We would order like I'm just trying to figure out like why the whole point of like why put. But you blame it. No, you answered it because it's kind of like we have nothing to do.
Yes, you have nothing to do. So what you do is
And
you sit at home and on your computer and just order stuff.
Has like routines been shifted? On your point of view of working, has like the routines, your day to day coming in, basically keeping yourself safe is
Well, it has changed because, I mean, with me, the kind of person that I am, even at work, I was not like a 2 feet kind of person talking to you that kind of way.
So he was
Anyway.
a very friendly guy.
I'm not a friendly person. I don't like to talk to people. I like to talk as far as away from me because now I can yell.
But this was before the pandemic, right?
This was before the
So he was already prepping himself. He already had the 411 about this whole situation.
Yes.
So nothing really ever changed for you.
Nothing really ever changed for me because, like, I give you a good example. I don't really get sick from people that's at work or from customers that are at work because I don't allow them to come in my personal space. My personal space is already 2 feet away from me already. I mean, now it's 6 feet. So it's basically an arm's length. I'm giving them their package and they're getting their package. I'm not trying to, the way that I look at it, I'm not trying to get personal with you. I'm just trying to do the service that you actually initiated. If you, let's just say you order something from anywhere, let's just say it's a signature required package. Now we have procedures. We don't have to make you sign for it. We could just ask you your name and then whatever and then write it on there. But it's more of, I was never allowing customers or my coworkers to get in my face, to get in my personal space, because I've never been sick. The only time that I get sick, I would say the only time is my wife, because
So she brings
it in to me, and
harbors it,
then she just passes it on to me, and then I get sick. But usually, if I am doing work 24 hours a day and not without me being in contact with my wife, I will never get sick because I don't allow people to be in my personal space because I'm not a friendly person. When my face, I have my dad's face.
I get that same. We're brothers, guys. So when you do see this back and forth, we do have the same facial structure, and it's lovely. I'm just saying. But we do. I know what you mean when it comes to like, cause I'm kind of like the last person to speak, but I am very conversational.
Mm-hmm.
But I do get that whole point of like people thinking I'm standoffish, but it's just my face. It's just how my face sits. I got the resting Wilner face.
Yes, I mean, it's something that's been good for me, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword.
Correct.
Because people are just comes up to you and tell you, man, why are you looking so mad? I'm like, I wasn't trying to look mad. It's just
that's just me.
That's just my face, and it's just basically it makes me unapproachable.
Yeah. And
yes, I'm working through it. My wife is telling me all the time that I have to be a little bit more smiley, a little bit more inviting. But it's so hard for me because all my life I have that hard face on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a very solid face. So I'm sorry for the ones that do see my face. Trust me, you can come and talk to me. I'm not like him. I mean, I'll still give you 6 feet, but I will be conversational with you. But what's the one positive thing that has come out of this whole situation? Whether it be from you people, from your job standpoint, or from personal standpoint, what has positively happened on this COVID situation, even though we're not seeing a lot of positive in news and what we're reading?
I mean, the positive thing is, I feel like we're more aware of everything now. I mean, even if you follow the guidelines, 6 feet, or don't touch people, even if you do that, that just means that just the common cold, you wouldn't be able to get that. So in a positive thinking of spending things, it actually is good for us. What we do as human beings is we become too comfortable in our own skin.
Correct.
So it just, when we're comfortable, we get in people's personal space. And that's how we all get sick. So if you think about it, it's not just for COVID-19. I think it should apply to life, because we are bunched up together is not good for us. We need our own personal space. I don't want to talk to you when I'm in the elevator. I don't want to hear you sneeze when I'm in the elevator.
But we are in a society where personal space, before this whole COVID thing, was personal space. I had people honestly break personal standards because they want to see what's going on with me. Like, they want to be in my vicinity. Like, what do you have to say to the ones that like love to be a part of a community? The ones that are actually pushing, before all the riots, they wanted to be outside just because of the fact of, I have to go out to eat, or I have to get my nails done, or I have to go to the salon. I have to do these things. What do you have to tell these people?
Well, I mean, the ability to, I feel like when you are in a situation and you don't like it, you want to get out of it. So it's kind of like when you were working before COVID-19, you have a TV at home, you have a cable that you're paying for at home, but you're never home to actually watch it.
So we're catching up on our shows, guys.
So what you do is, since you have time to catch up on it, since you go at the end of the universe, of TV universe, and you saw everything, I don't like it no more. I want to be out in the situation. I want to be going out to the restaurants. Yes, you have those abilities, but it's just because you're all in this situation. Someone is telling you, don't do that. We can't do that no more. And then what you do is you're like, well, I mean, don't tell me what to do. I want to do what I want to do. I want to talk to people, but
what is it? From where I get it, like, cause we kind of sound like spoiled children, or like the older folk, the older generation. I say baby boomers. They sound like grown children saying, oh, we have to do this, or basically if we always wash our hands, what's the whole problem? The ones that feel they're invincible. I address these people a lot on Slick Speaks. The invincible ones that feel like this is a whole hoax brought on by an idea of a person in office right now. I'm pretty sure he's a person in office. But for the ones that think it's a hoax, like, they're above the whole disease. The numbers aren't correct.
I mean, one of the things that I would love to say to people is who don't actually believe, I have a lot of these people who feel so confident on themselves, like, I can't get sick, I don't care. It's not about you. It's about other people. Okay? You could spread it even not knowing that you have it. It's just like you become so selfish. It's the question is, do you ask yourself, where is your humanity? Humanity is general. Where is it?
So you think this was like a humanity's version of break from some higher power, from me being saying that, I learned from the higher power being God, from whatever you want to call your higher power. Do you feel that this was like the earth was just saying, yeah, we have to stop, we have to go back to our whole situation of actually looking out for one another, being cautious.
Absolutely. But it's also telling you too, staying at home and being with your loved ones is also great too. I mean, I can understand you get, frustrated with them and stuff, but it's a good thing. It teaches us how to be with each other. Because if we're spending so much time with each other.
Some don't want to spend that much time with loved ones.
Yes, that it's called a little bit selfish sometimes.
So you're saying our society is sort of...
Yes, society wants to be comfortable and convenient. That's what they want to be. They want to know, okay, I want to have it when I can't have it, but when I have it, I don't want it.
All right, guys, that was my brother's insight. And hold on, give me 1 second. I just had to hop off camera, but that was my brother's insight on the whole situation of the COVID. He was bringing some light to the whole situation, even though he does bring off like he is very antisocial. But I have to say, it was an amazing time with my brother. But I have to say, guys, that is just honestly just the tip of the iceberg, because there is more that should be out, and I should have everything out. I'm gonna promise this to you guys by Tuesday, the rest of the interview, because we went into more than just his situation and his packaging agency on how they're handling it, but we went on to the whole fact of what's going on right now, which is the topic of discussion besides COVID. I thought COVID was gonna be like the topic of discussion or number one topic of discussion for a minute, but now these riots and these protests are the topic of discussion. And we did go in on why most of these, not most of these, all of these protests are necessary. And he did touch upon like how the looting is not necessary, but in his mindset, it is kind of necessary to actually get the attention that these protests do need. And he did depict that, like, even though it is a bad light shining for for the cause. Sometimes people do reach that point of frustration that they have to, I'm not saying loot, but like crash local buildings in their surrounding areas. I'm not saying I would do that, but like he did honestly touch upon that. But I will have everything to you by Monday. But this whole I just had to make sure that this went out good, because being that this is the tip of the iceberg, and I am gonna be trying to see if I can get my brother, Mr. Fan, back. Not actually back in, but try to see if I can VMix call him. So, Fan, if you are watching this, I'm going to try to see if I can get you on 10:30 live stream. I don't know if you would have any time around 10:30, because you do work in the days, to actually come on, not Skype in, but VMix call into my show. So, we can talk more about the whole situation, this whole pandemic, honestly, this is an election year. This whole cesspool that we have going on in 2020 that seems to not have an end, but there's going to be an ending I would say by October. I feel like people will be picking sides by October, and then November the finalizations will be actually coming through. But for Slick Speaks, I would like to say thanks, Fan. Thanks. Thanks, though. Thank you to the actual BLM situation. No, BLM protest that I actually went to. I will have to say that it was honestly the message that was being expelled by everybody. At the well, honestly, at the start to the honestly the finish of the protest, I would have to say like it was honestly a cesspool of positivity. Like no one wanted to actually start problems; they wanted to articulate their point. So I feel like if the news says people were being jaded and they just wanted to loot local businesses, it wasn't honestly like that. It's getting to the point like people feel like, or not people, but like businesses feel like the world is on fire. Like last night while I was working, the Home Depot installed this new policy, guys, aka stop rioters. I don't understand who's gonna be rioting Home Depot, but I'm just. These are the questions that come on a day-to-day basis. It's like who would rob Home Depot? Who would come in and say, yeah, I wanted that garden hose, but we have to put down. We have to. I had to actually see someone put down the shutters to like after we close around like 8, I'll say 8:30, we put down all of our shutters to deter rioters from coming into the business to destroy the business. I don't know who's what is it actually telling or like giving these emails out to saying that what is it, these protesters are rioters. Protesters are not rioters. I feel like the agitators that are mixing themselves with the protesters, that's making a bad distortion of like what is actually going on, what the message that they're actually trying to portray is the problem. So we should be after the agitators instead of like the message. We shouldn't be blowing off the whole message. And for companies that feel like you are at risk or like something will happen to your store, I wouldn't say, especially in the surrounding areas of this tri-state area from West Palm Brow, which is Miami. I wouldn't say people will want to loot, but I do hear about like the looting and people are trying to get into businesses, but I wouldn't think at this moment in time or in this moment in history people would want to say, hey, let's go use this platform of a protest to actually gain a upper hand or like gain something positive, gain something negative, shed negativity on a positive light. Like if you, what is it, you have to be some sort of like, you have to be some odd evil or like some odd like to actually try to, what is it, to actually try to agitate authorities, try to actually loot businesses because you want society, or like you want to distort the depiction of what is actually trying to be portrayed. We're actually marching or like actually protesting because of the injustice that is happening. So don't lose the narrative, guys. Stay tuned to the narrative, and I will always bring you, or I'll make sure I'll bring you the correct narrative. And the narrative never changes on Slick Speaks because I touch upon everything. And the topic of discussions, everybody knows them, from the riots to the protests to COVID to this whole election year. I will bring it to you to the forefront. And until next time, you can catch me everywhere on Instagram and Facebook at Slick Speaks, everybody. And until another Tuesday or Thursday at 10:30, I will see you guys later. And hopefully you do stay safe around here. And if you are protesting, stay safe. And for the agitators, you are not the voice of this of this society. For the agitators, you just need to take a seat. And that's all I have to say for Slick Speaks. Vinny, thank you for being a part of my board operations, and you did a nice job today. And I have to say, guys, have a great rest of your day.